Hi class, my name is Alex Olson, and this is my expert brief for law enforcement intelligence operations. I wanted to present to you today what I believe to be the biggest current threat in America today that has a law enforcement nexus. So for this topic, I chose terrorism. And I know this seems quite strange or out of place because typically I don't believe that terrorism should be prioritized by law enforcement. However, that does not mean that terrorism does not have a law enforcement nexus. And in this video, I'm going to argue that it does. And here are some of the reasons why. So first off, what are we talking about? We're talking about terrorism. Now, this may not seem like it has a criminal nexus, but like I said, it does. And this is the reason why. Terrorism has a criminal nexus because, and I quote the FBI definition on this, it defines terrorism as being a, quote, violent criminal act. Now, those three words, especially the last two, criminal act, that puts it in the jurisdiction of law enforcement act. It now becomes a jurisdiction of a federal law enforcement agency, not an intelligence agency. The intelligence agency can conduct the investigation abroad and collect intelligence to further the investigation or maybe help it along. But prosecutorially speaking, something that's going to be presented in court, it's going to be done by a federal law enforcement entity. Even suspicion alone on terrorism is going to be done by a federal law enforcement entity. It's not going to be conducted by an intelligence agency like the CIA or the NSA or any other intelligence community member. It's going to be conducted by federal law enforcement. The suspicion of terrorism, federal law enforcement. The act of terrorism, federal law enforcement. Third parties will be involved as well. So again, despite the international and political ramifications that come with the word terrorism, killing Americans is still a crime, whether it happens domestic or abroad, and it falls within the jurisdiction of federal law enforcement. So the background of terrorism is we see terrorism mainly being used by lesser equipped, smaller entities, a lot of non-state actors, and some state-sponsored actors as well, and even some